And welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
And special
guest!
guest.
I'm Sergio Salgado.
Welcome back.
Once again, yeah, Sergio, if you're a good viewer, he should look familiar to you. But Sergio's been helping us out behind the cameras a little bit in the recent months, and also likes beer himself. So why not have him drink some beer with us?
Yeah.
I do.
And he even brought some beer for us.
So you got to be on to drink the beer you bring.
That's true. That's true. And I'm excited to drink it. I'd never had it before.
Yeah, so very, very cool beer. I've actually had the opportunity to try it before. This is from Logsdon. This is their Seizoen Bretta. So it's, as you would expect, a farmhouse ale with re-fermented with Brettanomyces. And
then we also have the Sierra Nevada Russian River collaboration, the Brux, right?
Mm-hmm. So another Brettanomyces Bruxellensis beer. So we're doing wild beers today, and that's always exciting.
Yeah.
Getting
wild, exciting. Same.
So
I gotta go.
You're not ready to get wild and crazy?
No, not quite yet.
I think we're going to start with the Saison base and then move up this way. So without further ado, here we come to Oregon, Logsdon.
Love the big fluffy head on this.
Fluffy head, extremely cloudy, kind of like an orangey yellow.
But you can just smell the room is filling up with funkiness.
Brett Funk.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
It's not just us.
A lot of nice fruity, citrusy type of nose coming off it, mixing with that funk.
Yeah, a little candied fruit, the pineapple, and
which is got to be all hops and yeast strain. I don't think they add any fruit to this beer. It's just straight up traditional brewing ingredients and funky yeast. So,
well, cheers.
Cheers. Let's do it.
cheers, guys.
Oh, nice. It's not in your face sour or puckering. It's not Sour Patch Kid. It's just kind of nice and light and sparkling sour, I guess.
Yeah.
But it has that kind of dry, crispness to it a little bit.
I think a lot of that is, it's a fairly dry beer, but it's also nicely carbonated.
Yeah.
So it's given that kind of effervescence that kind of cleanses your palate. So it makes it even more refreshing. It kind of has like a nice toasty graham to it that you don't typically expect from these kind of lighter effervescent beers, but it works well. I think it just kind of lends to that funky character. There's more than it's not just straight up acid,
Yeah.
and it's not just funky and gross. There's kind of a synergy between their grain bill and the hopping and that funky character. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can see this being a good intro to sour beers for people who like wits and farmhouse ales and just kind of want to get into sour beers. I've heard about it, and just it's not going to destroy you.
Yeah.
So did you go to Hood River to get this, or did you go to the brewery there?
I didn't. I was just in Portland, and on our we visited about 4 breweries while we were there, and at a bottle shop. This was highly recommended by a friend of mine.
Which bottle shop?
Oh man.
I called you out on it.
No, it's the one of the popular ones.
Belmont Station.
Belmont Station.
Oh, nice.
That's the one. We'd been to 4 breweries beforehand, so everything was a little hazy.
In Portland, there's the laundromat's a brewery.
That's true. That's true.
But I think this is all organic, right? This is a organic farmhouse beer, right? So certified organic, yeah. In true Oregon fashion.
Organic fashion.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Organic. I'll show myself out. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to try this before myself, and so was thrilled when Sergio walked in the front door and had a bottle. I was in California recently, and they distribute down there, and just based on the fact that it was a Brett beer, I picked it up and had no idea about it, and actually brought it back to a couple of friends who were like, "Oh, this beer is amazing." Oh, I was like, "Oh, cool. All right." I bought it just because of the yeast strain.
So they only distribute in like West Coast area, or
I would assume they're fairly small right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still. I had never heard of them, so I saw them in California as well when I was in San Diego after Portland. So they were definitely down there.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen them since.
But they've certainly garnered the acclaim of the well-attuned beer geek within the community. I've checked them out, and everyone seems to really dig their stuff. So,
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying this, and
it's very good.
it's one you want to sip on because you don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could drink this for breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice and early.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
See where the night goes.
Where's that door again?
But anyways, yeah, we got more Brettanomyces on the way. Here on the Hopcast, we're going to the Sierra Nevada and Russian River collaboration next.
Well, I'm all out of wild.
No, you're not.
We got more?
We got more wild.
It's right there. Sweet. We got the Brux, right? I feel like I'm always gonna say that name wrong. Like it's like I'm not great at I'm not great at pronouncing the names.
Brew
No, but
X.
this is Brux. So the name Brux comes from the yeast strain that the wild yeast strain that this beer is re-fermented with.
Okay.
The long version of that being Brettanomyces Bruxellensis. So
Oh.
you can call it Brett for short. A lot of people call Brettanomyces Brett.
But
and
you
then,
could call it Brux, and it
and
would
then-
be the same thing.
Well,
or-
there's a lot of different kinds of Brettanomyces. So
Okay.
you have Brettanomyces clausenii, you have Brettanomyces lambicus, and all these other different strains. This particular strain is Brettanomyces Bruxellensis. So everyone is used to saying, "Oh, Brett."
Right.
That's the
okay.
yeast strain. Yeah, they use Brett in it,
Which is apparent.
which is like an umbrella of all these different things.
Gotcha.
So this is another way of saying shorthand. So now people call it Brux. Brett Brux.
Brett
Okay.
Brux.
So which Brett do
Sounds
we
like a
use
currency.
in this one?
I thought it was the same actually.
It's said
On
it.
the
I think
logs.
on-
I know this is the
Oh, I
same
lied. Maybe it was that
Okay.
one.
same yeast strain as Orval and Gusau and Matilda.
Okay.
Same yeast strain. Brett Brux.
It just says Brettanomyces.
We'll write them an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know there was different Brettanomyces.
This one, the Logsdon did taste like Brett Brux to me. So
Okay.
I think it's this, we're dealing with the same strain, is from what my stupid palate can
This is getting
discern.
this is getting complicated. Now we got different malts.
Yeah, now we got to twist this
hops.
thing to even open it.
We got
This is
different
getting
Brett.
super complicated.
Oh, man.
Is that cork?
It is cork. Ugh.
All right. Well, let's pour it out.
Well, let's just drink it.
So that poured out a little more orangey, lighter color than the Logsdon? What do we have?
Logsdon?
Logsdon.
It's not quite as cloudy either, right? Or
Yeah, it's a
just a bit.
right. I mean, you're still gonna get some haze in here on this one, but you can. I mean, if you run your finger through it, you can still see it, as opposed to the other one is pretty opaque.
Yeah. And again, pretty fluffy head. I think this one's even a little whiter.
Mm-hmm. And again, you get a lot of funk coming off on the nose, similar to the Logsdon, but a little bit different. I think maybe less of that grain aroma coming off this one. This one's straight up like yeast character to me.
I'm not getting like that pineapple candied sweetness. Just like grassy, prairie, like floral kind of stuff.
To me, this is all yeast byproduct on this, as opposed to the other aspects of the beer. It smells great though.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, that's got a totally different taste.
Mm-hmm. This one is even more dry than the last. I think it's super dry, but kind of leaves you in the finish with kind of a malt sweetness, and you don't typically see that, like a finish of malt sweetness. It's usually kind of like a hop bitterness that lingers, or a funkiness. This is something totally unique.
Yeah, I almost get like a fruity finish too. Not It's not a sweet, like more like a tangerine or an orange kind of tart bite. Maybe from the hops there. Or...
I think all this is working malt and yeast. I mean, like a little bit of hops. If you're getting citrus and stuff like that, you might be getting some hop character. But to me, I'm just getting that kind of like bready. I have to distinguish between the two, bread and Brett. It's kind of like a toasty bready mixed with that Brett funky, and it's just very pleasant.
I think it's more, I guess, even fluffier than the Logsdon. Like in the mouthfeel, it's
carbonation level. I think it's definitely higher.
Like thicker, like bigger bubbles in the mouth, not like champagne sparkles.
Right.
Like,
Well, what does the re-fermented
Okay, so
mean?
so they're actually going to be dosing this. This says dry and complex Belgian style ale re-fermented in the bottle with Brettanomyces Bruxellensis. And so what that means is that they're actually dosing. So they go through an initial fermentation stage, just like any other beer. It's ready to package. It goes in the bright tank. You're done.
Then they bottle condition?
Then
or...
they actually dose each bottle with Brettanomyces Bruxellensis, that yeast strain, and it ferments in this bottle.
Gotcha.
So that's your re-fermentation, which will also carbonate your beer,
Right.
to
Which
the
explains
degree that they want.
so that could make, in theory, every bottle taste different. I'm sure they're pretty precise in this.
They've probably got their practice down. I mean, when you're taking from the same bright tank and you're dosing the same amount of yeast into each bottle, it's pretty damn close. I mean, for anyone to pick off between
one or another, but
one
you could
bottle
have,
or
like,
another,
one,
I would be very impressed.
Okay.
When
Especially
it
from
goes
a
batch
brewer.
to batch,
Yeah.
that's still impressive. But
From
bottle
a brewery,
to bottle is,
from a brewery this big, maybe a smaller brewery that's doing it by hand, but a brewery.
it would be more likely to show up in a smaller brewery. But I mean, we're talking about Sierra Nevada right now. I mean, one of the larger breweries, especially craft breweries in the country. Russian River, small, but I think this was done on Sierra's system.
I think it's distributed through Sierra Nevada.
It definitely has their distribution chain. Otherwise, we would not have seen
that's
it.
right. All right, because I've seen people talk about this online, and I didn't even know we were gonna get it because it's Russian River. And I was like, I have to find someone to send this to me. But then I was at the store and I saw it. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was. I've actually had this a couple times before, and it's great beer. I just love it. I mean, the two of those guys getting together is very cool. You've got like kind of the, craftsmanship of Sierra Nevada, just do solid beers time after time after time after time, and then bringing in Russian River, which is very experimental, and they do a lot of wild yeast and barrel aging, that kind of thing. And they're out there on the West Coast in California. It seems like a perfect, everyone's bringing something to the table type of scenario. So, and if this is the result, that's why you do these type of things.
And both these beers are dangerous because that's at 8%. This is 8.3, and it doesn't really taste like that.
No.
It's like
No, you suck them back all night
6.5.
long.
Yeah.
You'll be pissed off the next day, but you could do it.
I think your stomach.
If you
might
could
hurt.
afford it.
Your stomach might hurt
Yeah.
before you
Your
get
wallet
hungover.
might hurt. Yeah.
My wallet. Pain. Wallet hangover the next day. That's a new thing.
A couple of great wild beers that aren't crazy wild. They're just kind of they're just like dolloped with that. Like it's not funk all around.
Mm-hmm. Just a
Drinkable,
nice
enjoyable.
hit of tinge of funkiness. One of my this was passed on to me is, you know, sometimes you get those descriptors. It's hard to quantify something into a certain name or describe something, and someone always described these beers to me as rustic, and that's like exactly how I feel. They're just like, they're not super clean, they're rustic.
Pretty sure I have tetanus now.
It's rusty.
Can we
English is my
end
second
two
language.
different episodes of Hopcast on a bad joke in a row? I think we can do it. Thank you for watching the Hopcast.